And here is the news. The Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, says Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force, FAFT, grey list shows the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to building a safe and prosperous Nigeria and sustained interagency collaboration. The Chief Executive Officer of the unit, Hafsat Bakari, says the decision by the global anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing bodies validates the reforms implemented by the country since 2023, which underscore government's approach to tackling illicit financial flow. In a statement, NFIU expresses gratitude to ministries, departments and agencies, the legislature, judiciary, private sector, NGOs and citizens for their support and describes the listing as proof of credibility and sustainability of Nigeria's reforms. Reaffirming a forward-looking posture, the NFIU reiterates commitment to deepening collaboration, strengthening intelligence-led supervision, and sustaining reforms as the country prepares for its next anti-money laundering, countering financing terrorism, and counter-proliferation financing mutual evaluation. And the Nigerian Air Force has provided decisive close air support and conducted precision air interdiction operations in the Azre and Mushram areas of Borno State, eliminating several terrorist elements and disrupting planned attacks through coordinated air-ground operations in support of troops in contact. Now, the successful operations conducted on the 15th and 16th January 2026 underscores NAP's sustained commitment to timely, intelligence-led air support and seamless coordination with ground forces to deny terrorists freedom of action while protecting both troops and civilian population. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Jodame, indicates that the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, reaffirmed Nigerian Air Force unwavering resolve to provide prompt and effective air support to ground forces. And the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, has directed a Muslim Ummah to look for the new moon of Shaban 1447 AH on Monday, January 19th, 2026. This directive is contained in a press statement signed by Professor Sambo Wali Junaidu, the Wazir in Sokoto and Chairman of the Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council. It says that Monday, January 19, 2026, which corresponds to the 29th day of Rajab 1447 AH, has been designated as the date to observe the new moon of Shaban 1447 AH. The statement urges Muslims across the country to look for the new crescent on the stated day and report any sighting to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultanate Council. And fire has ravaged goods worth millions of naira at a section of the Sokoto Old Market this Sunday. Now, the inferno, reportedly ignited by sparks from a welding machine during work, caused panic through the busy commercial hub as traders struggled to save their goods. Here is Bashir Ibrahim Nababa's report.
The fire started about 9 o'clock in the morning, allegedly caused by a spark from a welding machine. It then spread to neighboring shops, destroying goods worth millions of naira.
Wata ce gobara ce Allah ya kawo mana miliyan 20. Ka kawo mana agaji Allah ya kawo mana.
To an ce sanadiyar walda suke yi ta gas haka, ana walle gambu sai wata ta kama. To ni ina zuwa ana ce min in duba ina daga kaina sai naga hayaki na tashi nan. Sai na fasa bude shago. To shi kenan sai ga wutar ta taso haka. To shi kenan ko da muka duba ina wutar ta kawo mu.
As at the time of NTA News' arrival to the scene, personnel of the Sokoto State Fire Service, assisted by members of the public, were seen battling to contain and prevent it from spreading to other parts of the market. Sympathizers consoled with the affected traders and appealed to government and well-meaning individuals to support them in recovering their losses.
Wannan jaraba da musiba ta same mu a wannan kasuwa ta mu tsohon kasuwa. Wannan wuta da ta laƙume shaguna da yawa da kuma dukiyoyi da dama. Muna fatan Allah subhanahu wata'ala ya kama ƙarshen wannan jaraba.
Governor Ahmed Ali provide firefighting equipment, repair and maintain all our vehicles.
A similar fire incident was recently recorded at the section of the Sokoto Central Market where properties were razed. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
And the All Progressives Congress, APC, has commenced a nationwide constitution amendment process to strengthen the internal democratic framework of the party and ensure its structures remain responsive to current political realities. A statement by the National Legal Advisor of the APC, Murtara Aliyu Kankia, says the party has scheduled this year's edition to the Northeastern Zone coming up on 19th of January at State Conference Hall, Maiduguri, Borno State, while the Southwest Zone will take place on the 27th of January at the Dome International event in Akure, Ondo State. And Abuja, a historic town renowned for its rich cultural heritage, has once again taken center stage with the successful hosting of the second edition of the National Horse Racing Derby, themed Renewed Hope, organized by the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria. Now, the event, which has grown from an emirate-level context to a full national championship, attracted horse riders from across Nigeria as well as neighboring countries, including the Republic of Niger. Mohamed Musa Askira has this report. All right, we'll take that sports report much later, but as you are well aware, the two football giants of Africa are currently locking horns, the Teranga Lions and the Atlas Lions of Morocco and Senegal. But here is Francesca Belay to give us updates. Hello, Francesca.
Updates. Now, the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco will come to an end tonight after nearly 1 month of drama, surprises and entertainment that characterized the Africa's biggest sporting event in Morocco. The event came to a climax with a spectacular closing ceremony which witnessed musical and symbolic displays to showcase the African sporting culture. Moment hosts Atlas Lions of Morocco are playing against the Teranga Lions of Senegal in the final. The match is currently in the second half, with both sides still holding on a goalless draw. Elsewhere, it was another weekend of surprises in the Nigerian Premier Football League on Sunday, starting from Kano, where Abia Warriors turned Kano Pillars, claiming a 1-0 away victory at the Sanya Bata Stadium in Yenagoa. Bayelsa United maintained their strong home form, defeating Shooting Stars of Ibadan 2-0. The league leaders sent a strong title message, urging defending champions Remo Stars 1-0, while Bendel Insurance were dominant, beating Elkanemi Warriors 3-2 in the 5-goal thriller. Elsewhere, Nasarawa United secured a 2-1 win over Niger Tornadoes. Ikorodu City edged Kwara United 1-0, and Plateau United defeated Wiki Tourists 2-1 in Jos. Now, we wrap up with para badminton as Africa's #1 para badminton player, Eniola Bolaji, emerged champion of the 2026 Egypt International Championship on Sunday, January 18. The Paralympic bronze medalist defeated world #7 Halime Yildiz of Turkey 2-0 at the new Capital Indoor Hall in Cairo. The world #2 began her campaign with a commanding 2-0 victory over Yildiz in the opening round before overcoming India's Tulika Gadgev 2-0 in the second round. Bolaji continued her dominant run by beating India's Manasi 2-0 to set up a semi-final clash against India's Shivam Yadav, which she won convincingly 2-0. That's your spot. It's back to you, Claire.
All right, thank you, Francesca. And of course, the victory of the Super Eagles tell us, of course, that sports, it's all about resilience. It's first one in the mind before the pitch. Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you so much.
All right, and he was a pioneering Nigerian educationist and university administrator born in Wusara, Zaria. He strengthened teacher education programs at the Ahmadu Bello University and helped shape national educational policy. This and more prompted an evening of tributes, orations, music, and performances for Professor Emeritus David Adamu Baike in Abuja. Annie Daniels was there.
Conference Center, where academia, policymakers, and captains of industry came to celebrate the life and times of Professor Emeritus David Adamu Baike, a trailblazing Nigerian educationist, academician, and university administrator.
His remarkable career trajectory spanned more than 6 decades.
Baike was loyal. Baike was excellent. Baike was full of ideas. Baike was somebody, when you gave a job, you know it to be done excellently.
You cannot talk of dioceses in the north, missionary dioceses being established and being nurtured without the encouragement from Professor Baike.
I want to thank God that we had men of character like Professor Adamu Baike to be able to contribute their quota to laying the foundations that some of us are products of.
Professor Baike was very meticulous, was astute, and very devoted. Having established Nasarawa State University,
it was an evening of endless tributes for a long-serving vice-chancellor who initiated the rationalization and revision of all courses offered at the University of Lesotho.
He was one of the pioneer lecturers of Ahmadu Bello University, joining the faculty in 1964 and in 1971 becoming the first professor of education from northern Nigeria.
We grew up with a mud church to worship God in spirit and in truth.
I've come to value academics and I will support academics.
He took every relationship very seriously, from his driver to the gate man.
Professor Emeritus David Adamu Baike passed on the 12th of December 2025 at the age of 94, leaving behind a legacy of academic excellence and leadership. In Abuja, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
All right, let's now take you to the weather center here in Abuja for the weather forecast for Monday.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. Across the country, horizontal visibility is gradually improving, bringing better travel conditions in many areas. Temperatures are also on the rise in most cities, so expect warmer days ahead. However, residents in parts of Kebbi, some parts of Kano, the Federal Capital Territory, and Niger State should know that moderate dust haze may reduce visibilities to 2 to 5 kilometers. Motorists are advised to drive cautiously, and those with respiratory conditions should limit prolonged outdoor activities. Further south, we're expecting cloudy conditions across the southern regions, which could later develop into isolated thunderstorms during the late afternoon and evening hours, especially in parts of Lagos, some parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa State. Aviation operators are also advised to obtain the latest weather updates via the NIMET eFlight folder portal to support safe and efficient operations. And that's the latest weather updates. Stay informed and stay safe. Thank you for watching.
All right, thank you, Joyce Ogunleye, for the weather forecast. And that, of course, ends the news tonight on Newsline.